Scott.
I'm Brian.
We're
Schwartz on Sports.
Here to discuss the draft and what happened last week for the Browns. And to start it off, we're going to go to Brian and pass it to the number 3 pick overall, since the Browns traded 3 picks to move up to get
Trent Richardson, running back, Alabama. I think he's going to have a solid year, probably close to 1,000 yards.
He better be in the 3rd pick overall.
I wouldn't say, 1,000 is pretty good though.
Not anymore.
Well, it's
1,500.
I'm gonna guess around 1,200 as a rookie. That's just my guess because the offense is a little shitty.
What do you think about trading up to get him?
I think they did what they felt they had to do, which I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, we gave up a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th. Your 5th and a 7th are virtual throwaways. The 4th wasn't that big of a deal.
If they wanted him that bad, I'm glad they did it. Whatever.
I'm glad they went up and got him as opposed to pass him up and him be a freaking stud and we didn't get him. So it's worth their gamble. At least they're trying.
Yeah, we've been down that road before.
Pick number 22, we took Brandon Weeden. Your thoughts on Weeden?
I like Weeden. I think he's prototypical size.
He's definitely prototypical size.
Awesome arm. He's got, I don't know. Good instincts off for the West Coast.
He's got a gun to cut through the wind in the winter, which is good. Unlike Colt, who has a noodle arm. But
Colt who has a noodle arm.
He does. Noodle arm Colt.
But yeah, I think he's going to work out. He's going to start right away. He should give us about 4 to 6 wins with his tough-ass schedule. I mean, that's tough.
I just don't like the fact we took him at 22 because you still had David DeCastro on the board. You had a bunch of other quality people on the board.
That's not where you go lineman. That's where you go.
That's not the point. They had a bunch of different people they could have taken at 22.
Did you notice just because Kendall Wright wasn't there, they freaked out. And
I'm glad they didn't get Kendall Wright because he's not going to be shit.
I'm just saying. They freaked out.
I know. But either way, we got our starting running back, our starting quarterback for hopefully the foreseeable future.
We'll save the receiver stuff for when we get to the 4th.
Yeah. And with our only pick, I guess, second round, number 37, we took Mitchell Schwartz. So
out of Cal, he's going to be our starting right tackle.
Our namesake.
They basically already said that.
The Schwartz is clearly with the Browns at this point.
So may the Schwartz be with you all.
I think some people are saying he was taken a little bit high, but in their opinion, he was better than Massey, because I guess Massey had an injury, and they like Schwartz better as a right tackle. The guy started on left tackle for a couple of years.
He played right tackle, too.
And he's a perfect NFL right tackle.
They had him rated in the 3rd round. He only won a round higher. Yeah. It's not
They like their guy. They went after the guy. Now, the next pick we have that we really have issue with,
John Hughes, Cincinnati.
Who the hell is John Hughes?
Some people had him rated 7th round, and some people had him undrafted.
He wasn't even in my draft book.
And Heckert sits there, he's like, oh, man, we were holding our breath trading down 20 spots because some team might have picked him in the 3rd round, even though no one had him on their fucking board.
Yeah, nice pick there, Heck. So anyway, hopefully he's something, and they found a gem that apparently nobody else knew about, but it is what it is.
That brings us to our next gem. Travis Benjamin from the U, wide receiver. Just because he's fast, let's pick him. He reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. Get out of here, Heckard. Come on.
He runs under a 5'4". I don't give a shit. Or was he at a 4'3"? I don't
5'4".
Sorry, 4'5". But either way, he's a nobody. You had others on the board.
He ran in the 4'3s. But basically, Hughes and Benjamin were our worst picks of the draft, in my opinion, and our last one.
Our next 4 picks are probably our best picks, aside from the 1st round.
I love the next 4 picks.
Yeah, they're good.
James Michael Johnson, linebacker from Nevada. He was ranked the 5th rated inside linebacker, and how we got him in the 5th round, I have no freaking idea.
He was a steal in the 5th round.
And then we got Ryan Miller, the badass from Colorado, offensive guard, 6'7" and a quarter.
Dude's got a mean streak, and that's what the Browns need.
You go through me, you won't do it again attitude.
Yep.
And then that brings us to
the 6th round steal.
The tackling machine,
Emmanuel Ocho from Texas.
6'2", 240. I think he had 140 tackles last year for the Longhorns. Great pick. I
love
it.
Plus 5.5 sacks. You can get to the quarterback.
And that brings us to the other steal, just because some people had injury concerns from his past.
Billy Wynn from Boise State.
Defensive tackle / DN.
Which we called as one of our sleepers last week in our draft special.
Yes, we did. Billy Wynn. He's gonna
big boy, nice DT for defense. He's gonna be good.
He's gonna make Hughes' pick look better, in my opinion. They're gonna flip flop.
Our next pick is Trevin Wade. He's a cornerback from Arizona. I think he was also the 6th round, or was he 7th?
He was 7th round.
But you had Chase Minifield out there. I mean,
if nothing else, on talent alone, he should have gone in the third round probably. But just based on Minifield and the fan base, you get Frank Minifield's son and bring him to the Browns in the 7th round. What do you have to lose?
Or you could have picked our sleeper Cliff Harris.
Cliff Harris is
who went to the Eagles.
But as
everybody.
a Browns fan, Frank Minifield and Hanford Dixon started the dog pound. Chase Minifield's a decent cornerback. Probably going to be a nickelback in the NFL, but he's worth a 7th round pick.
Yep.
You're going to bring in bloodlines from the original dog pound, and you don't do it with a 7th round pick. Why the hell not?
But that brings us to a shitty but yet intriguing pick.
He's got good hands.
And Brad Smelly. That sometimes he was a fullback for Trent Richardson.
He was more like an H-back in
he's a blocking tight end. I mean, that's what he is. He's there.
But he's got hands. He could be a decent little guy that comes off the bench.
Could be. And then that brings us to our key free agents. The key undrafted free agents that we think have a chance to make the team.
These are the guys. There are other guys that the Browns signed as undrafted free agents. These are the guys that we think have a shot at actually making the team.
Number 1,
Matt Cleveland playing for the Cleveland Browns.
At number 2, we got Josh Koopa, the number 2 wideout for Brandon Weeden last year.
Whitey receiver.
Had, I think, 70 catches for almost 800 yards and 5 TDs.
Give Weeden some familiarity in the NFL, which is good. Third guy is Emmanuel Davis, cornerback from East Carolina.
Then the next guy is Tashawn Gibson, safety from Wyoming.
And the next guy is Antoine Reed, cornerback from Pitt, who may make the team.
And then our last pick, he could have been picked, but he had a bad senior year because he was all dinged up.
He could be a steal as an undrafted.
Andrew Sweat,
from
linebacker
from Ohio State University.
That brings us to our biggest need left from the draft,
which is
wide receiver. We have a list of a couple of people.
We got a list of free agents that are still out there and available
that could fit with the Browns.
Even if they don't fit, they can catch, and we need that.
So most of them can catch.
Yeah. First free agent guy that's out there, he's a little bit of a head case, but he can catch the ball when he's healthy. Plaxico Burress.
And our next one,
which he wants to return. I don't want the Michigan trash, but here you go.
And that's why he doesn't like us, because people like you.
Fuck Michigan and fuck Braylon.
Anyways, you bring him back. Out of all these guys, he's got the most potential, in my opinion, if he can catch the ball. And
he also has the most potential to punch somebody in a club, but we're not going to go there.
Well, I don't really care about that.
I'm just
as long as he catches the ball, I don't care what he does. Braylon Edwards. So, we could bring him in, could not. I mean, I don't really care.
We're not bringing him in.
The next person's who I really want.
Next.
I said next.
Okay, he's pointing to me. That would be Jacoby Jones.
Just currently released by the Houston Texans. Great size.
He has already visited the Carolina Panthers. He has 2 undisclosed teams he's going to be visiting, and I can pretty much guarantee the Browns aren't one of them.
Yeah, probably not, but I hope they are. Yeah, I mean, you never know. They could be behind there. Then our next one is Patrick Creighton. He's got some skill. I mean, he's not over. He'd be a good 2 or 3.
He'd be good for us.
He'd be our number 1. That takes us to
Roy Williams, the old guy.
The old guy. He's only like 31.
He looks like he's 41.
And that brings us to Greg
Camarillo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's more of a slot, which I don't think anyone's really going to take Norwood's spot.
No.
And then our next one is the old guy.
T.O.
You never know.
Never know with T.O.
Never know.
I'd take him right now, though. I know that much.
And that brings up another question. Who do you think are potential starters from our draft picks?
The potential starters are obviously your first 3 are going to start. And Trent Richardson, Brandon Weeden, and Mitchell Schwartz, they're going to start. It's just a matter of when. Probably week 1. Who knows?
I can see Acho.
He won't start.
Well, remember Fujita's out.
Yeah. Michael Johnson will start.
Miave sucks.
They are.
Yeah, whatever.
Panuka.
Who even cares what his name is? So you got Johnson and Acho, who have chances to start and get.
Oh, they're definitely going to make the team.
They're going to get playing time, a lot of playing
time.
Get some
PT.
And I think Miller might beat out Luavo at right guard. Yeah. And if he does, that's going to be one nasty line on the right side because they both got attitude.
The only thing that Ryan Miller I worry about is his size at guard. He's 6'7". That's tall for a guard.
But most Steinbeck's what, 6'6"?
Yeah.
I mean, he was big.
But it's a rare occurrence to have a guard that tall.
And it's not... People will say he's too tall. He's going to get in the quarterback's vision. People don't block straight up, people. You bend your legs, so he's going to get down to like 6'3".
Plus, we have an actual quarterback that's NFL size, so that'll help.
And Richardson, I'm sure, would love to run behind that big ass.
Oh, hell.
That's all I'm saying.
Draft day steals for the Browns.
Well, you pick your one steal. I'll pick my one.
I know what your one is, so I'm going to go a different direction. I think the biggest draft day steal for the Browns is probably Michael Johnson, the linebacker from Nevada. He shouldn't have fallen where he fell. He probably should have been no worse than a third-round pick. Yeah, he played on the inside at Nevada, but I think he can be an outside guy for us in the 4th league.
I'm going to go somewhere totally different than he thought I was going to go. I'm going to go with Billy Wynn, defensive tackle, Boise. I think he's going to give Ruben and...
Ruben's going to start.
Who said he wasn't?
Just give Ruben a run for his money. That's
not where I was going.
All right.
For some reason, I went blank on the other guy. What's his name?
The guy we drafted last year,
Yeah.
Phil Taylor.
Phil Taylor and Ruben, some breathing time, so they're not in all the time.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a good rotating
It's definitely going
guy.
to solidify the line.
He'll be a good rotating guy, and Hughes will sit there on the bench watching him go in.
Yep.
And that brings us with Fujita's suspension.
If you didn't know, John Vilma from the Saints got suspended the entire season this year for his role in the bounty gate, because I guess he dropped 10 Ks for somebody on his team and knocked Favre out of the game, which they obviously did, so somebody got 10 grand.
That they did.
But he got suspended for a whole year. Will Smith from Ohio State, I believe, got 4 or 5 games.
And Hargrove got 4.
And Fujita, which is to me is just stupid, but I see where they're coming from. He got a 3-game suspension, but I think it's because he's the player rep.
But he said he put money in for the plays, not getting any people hurt.
But I think why the NFL suspended him is because he's the union player rep, so it kind of looks bad if you don't suspend that guy for doing wrong when he's supporting everybody else. So I think it's kind of a political thing with Fujita. But to me, Fujita fucking blows goats anyway.
Well, here's
here's
my question. Does Fujita's suspension matter?
No, not to me.
He's on a down decline.
Well, he's way at the end of his career.
And we played with him for what? For 5 games last year we didn't play with him?
And we had a top 10 defense
without
him. So let the young guys play. Fujita's done anyway. Screw that old guy. He sucks. Now the question, I think, is on a lot of people's minds, including ours, is should the Browns keep Colt McCoy now that they drafted Brandon Weed?
I think they should. I think he's the kind of guy, he's a classy guy. I don't think he'll mind sitting behind somebody. I mean, he wants his shot.
He had his shot.
But he's a good person to be back there. I mean, he's definitely a backup. He's not a starter. And if, say, Weeden got hurt, he could come in and win 500.
Right. But from the position of the team leadership perspective, the guy started a year and a half. You got to get rid of him so there's nobody in the locker room saying, we want McCoy still, or we want Weeden. There's none of that. It's just Weeden. You got to get rid of McCoy for that.
But then do you keep Wallace on? Really?
Yes.
Seneca Wallace.
Yes.
What's he done?
What's Colt done?
I'd cut him and I'd sign McNabb.
You can't keep a former starter like that with a
No.
new guy.
Get rid of McCoy.
Yeah.
Cut Wallace and sign someone like McNabb or Thielen.
Wallace is Holmgren's boy. It's not going to happen.
I don't care.
They do.
Then that brings up a really intriguing point. Which running back is out? Is it Obaniah? Is it Hardesty?
Well,
is it Jackson?
From a talent perspective, if you're not attached to the hip as they are with Hardesty, because heck, draft him and trade up for all that bullshit, you cut Hardesty because he sucks ass.
I don't say you cut him. I say
you
put him on the practice squad.
Fuck him.
Someone takes
him. He wasn't
last
on the squad.
But
I wouldn't keep him.
I think it should go Richardson 1, Jackson 2, and Obaniah 3.
Yeah.
Those are our best.
The worst draft pick in Heckert's tenure here is clearly Montario Hardesty.
And he traded up for him.
And yeah. So get rid of your mistake. You already basically, the one thing I do like about Heckert and Holmgren, they basically admitted they made a mistake with Colt McCoy starting and continuing, so they drafted Weeden. Do the same thing with Hardesty and get rid of his ass.
Well, they basically did. They're just not getting rid of him.
Oh, I know. At least at least they're aware enough to know they made a mistake and they try to correct it.
Yeah. That brings us to, I want to go over a draft grade. What do you give the Browns? I said a B minus, but I'm leaning a little more to a C plus.
What did Kuiper give the Browns?
Okay, I don't know. I just saw someone give us a D plus.
I'm
just being honest.
That's a little hard.
Someone gave us a D plus and a C minus.
Just from the Trent Richardson pick, the Weeden pick, even though it was high, And some of the other steals we got in the later rounds, I give the Browns a B-.
It's anywhere between a C+ and B-, I think's right.
With the exception of fucking up the Hughes pick as your third pick, it would have been a B+.
But all these people
wasted a pick.
All these people that are all pissed off about how Hector and Holmgren are building the team, they told you they're going to build through the draft, right? Yeah. They didn't lie about it.
They got 11 guys out of the draft.
Whoever they draft, they play. Yeah. I mean, that's how you build a team.
That's how you know what they are.
You don't go out there and get free agents that want money and they don't play.
Right.
Philadelphia, for example.
So what are your expectations for the 2012 season, knowing how hard our schedule is and knowing we still suck?
Okay, well, looking on at last year, I mean, we had a pretty hard schedule last year, too, correct?
I think it's harder this year.
We should have won 8 games last year, being honest.
But we should have lost.
We lost a whole bunch of games we should have won.
We won ones we should have lost.
So I'm saying I'm not going high. I'm going to say 6 and not 10.
If we win 6 games this year, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Put it that way. That's what I'm going with 6. I'm sticking to it.
With the schedule we have, if we win 6 games, that's an improvement.
And I'm also calling out the Bengals, and I'm saying they're going to completely decline this year, and they got lucky. Watch.
The Bengals, I'm calling it, could win the division.
I'm saying they can.
The Steelers and the Ravens could be on a severe decline, which I would love.
They're within the next 4 years, they're slowly.
They're both aging. They're both not that good offensively.
And Suggs is out.
So, anywho, now transitioning a little bit, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Indians a little bit. For those of you who don't know out there, it is May 4th, 2012. Your Cleveland Indians are in first place in the AL Central
with a record of 13-10.
And as of the taping of this show, they are up on the Rangers 6-3. They could be 14-10 by the end of it.
They're getting hot.
There are some hot hitters of the Indians we want to talk about. Jason Kipnis, who we call Kip, is on an 8-game hit streak, batting .500 during the streak, and he has 6 stolen bases on the year.
And we also have another person that's defensively is a beast.
Yeah.
And he's coming all along with the hitting now. We call him Jack
Superman.
And, I mean, with those two, and then you got Pronk hitting. He's hitting like a bitch right now.
Yep.
I mean,
Santana's coming on.
I mean, they're hot.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
The only thing I worry about is a lot of people aren't paying attention to baseball yet for whatever reason, but the Tribe is in first place.
Yep.
I kind of think they're in first place by default because no one's really playing that great a ball in our division, so it's kind of somebody's got to be in first place. Not like we're not playing.
That's how it was last year too.
Well, last year we were lights out for a month. This year we're playing good ball, but we're not lights out yet.
But we're starting to hit the ball, not just homers.
But I don't think anybody's really taken command of the division. That's why we're kind of in first place. There's no real good ball been playing yet.
Tigers
are
struggling. They're struggling.
Tigers are 500, might be under 500 before the night's over.
They probably are.
And it's nice to see the Indians are hanging in there. You have to dig yourselves out of a hole down the home stretch, which is good. So hopefully they can keep it up, and we'll see what the future holds.
See what happens with the Tribe.
And going back to the Browns a little bit, the rookie mini camp does start next Friday, May 11th. And, obviously the rookies just show up. And then you got a couple of OTAs that are voluntary. And I believe the first week of June, the full squad mini camp starts.
So we'll get to see our rookies in action, see what we got, see if we made some good picks, see what they look like, see if we even can throw and they can catch the ball. And I'm looking forward to see that. But that's
basically our show. We gave you our thoughts on the draft, the Tribe, and the basketball playoffs have started, and I really don't give a shit. I don't know if none of my immediate friends are NBA fans because the NBA is a fucking joke, but
the only thing I know is you got the former Cav LeBron James' Heat just thrashing the Knicks right now.
The Knicks suck ass.
I don't see anyone stopping them this year. I just don't.
Well, hopefully they don't win and LeBron breaks a leg, but we'll see what happens.
At least tears Achilles. Something. Just tear your Achilles.
Yeah, we're good.
No problem.
So until next time, I'm Scott.
I'm Brian.
We're Schwartz on Sports. Out. Woo.